Okay. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that on the day of the robbery carjacking, he was picked up by Nelson Lopez in the vehicle of Nelson Lopez. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that he believed that Nelson Lopez was driving a purple Saturn. Alexander stated that Nelson Lopez was going to pick him up so the two of them can purchase some marijuana. It's hard for you to read, that's why I'm translating. Alexander Lopez Pena stated he did not know who the marijuana was going to be purchased from, and that it was Nelson Lopez who had made the arrangements to purchase the marijuana. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that Nelson Lopez had picked him up in the area of South 20th Street and West Rogers. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that he was seated in the front passenger seat of the vehicle and Nelson Lopez was driving the vehicle. Two individuals then blah 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 convenience store of South 20th. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that he was in the location where the marijuana transaction was going to be conducted. After waiting approximately 20 minutes, Pena stated that deliver the marijuana did not show up. I asked Pena if Lopez was texting the individual who was to bring the marijuana. Alexander Lopez Pena stated he recalled that Nelson Lopez was on his cell phone but did not know if he was texting someone or not. Alexander stated that after waiting approximately 20 minutes, he and Nelson Lopez then left the on South 13th Street and west of Layton Ave. Alexander Lopez stated to use the restroom, stated that Nelson Lopez had then turned the vehicle. Alexander Lopez Pena re-entered the front passenger side of the vehicle, Nelson Lopez saw the person going to deliver the marijuana driving on South 13th Street. It should be noted that Pena stated he is not familiar with the streets in the area, but based upon landmarks that he described, such as a gas station that was across the street, an Arabic church, I knew that Alexander Lopez Pena, was describing the vehicle driving southbound South 13th Street from West Layton Avenue. Okay. Alexander stated that the marijuana supplier's vehicle then turned to a side street to which he did not know the name. Alexander stated that it was a residential area where the vehicle turned. Then he recalled apartment buildings on this street. Alexander Lopez Pena stated the marijuana supplier vehicle pulled over to the side and Nelson Lopez stopped the vehicle and they were in on the corner. Behind the vehicle, Alexander Lopez Pena, that the vehicle that the marijuana supplier was driving was a black Honda Civic. This is the one that this nigga stole. Alexander stated that Nelson Lopez exited the front driver's seat of the vehicle and approached the front passenger side of the black Honda. Pena stated that Nelson Lopez and the driver appeared to be conversating for approximately 2 minutes. Alexander Lopez Pena stated Nelson Lopez began to walk back towards the vehicle and then motioned, waving a hand for him, Alexander Lopez Pena, to exit the vehicle and walk towards him. Alexander Lopez Pena described this motion in the interview by waving his arm. Alexander stated he exited the front passenger seat of the vehicle of Nelson Lopez, and then he, Alexander Lopez Pena, and Nelson Lopez met at the corner where Nelson Lopez had parked. Alexander Lopez stated that Nelson Lopez whispered to him to tell the driver of the black Honda Civic to get out of the vehicle. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that he then walked into the front drive seat of the vehicle, then pulled open the front driver's seat side door. Alexander Lopez Pena stated that While he was at the front driver's seat door, Nelson Lopez was standing at the rear of the vehicle towards the passenger side. Alexander stated that when he opened the front driver's seat door, he told the driver of the vehicle to get out of the car. Alexander stated as he told the driver of the vehicle to get out of the car, Alexander Lopez Pena, pulled out a BB gun out of his waistband to show the driver of the vehicle that he had a gun. Alexander stated he showed the BB gun to the driver to scare the individual. Alexander stated that when the driver of the vehicle exited the front driver's seat, the driver gave him Alexander Lopez Pena the marijuana that was meant to be sold to the two individuals. Alexander Lopez Pena stated then he informed the driver to take off his watch and his belt. Pena stated that Nelson Lopez told him to tell the driver to give up his watch and belt. Alexander stated after he obtained the marijuana, the watch, and the belt of the driver, he instructed the driver to go across the street and lay on the ground. After the driver went across the street and laid on the ground, Lopez Pena stated that he got into the victim's vehicle and drove away. Pena said that Nelson Lopez then re-entered his vehicle and fled the scene. Pena stated two individuals drove to the Boys and Girls Club, which is in the area of South 23rd Street and West Rogers Street, and simply left the car on the side of the road with the keys still in the ignition. Okay. He started talking about he bought this one gun and shit from some dude named Juan, because they found a gun at his crib. So he tried to say it was some dude named Juan that he got it from, blah, blah, blah. Bunch of gibberish after this. Police asking him if he ever fired the gun. He said, yeah, at the shooting range, just check out, to see if it works, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let me see. Oh, Alexander Lopez Pena was asked if he could apologize to the victim of this offense if he would. Lopez Pena stated that he would like to apologize to the victim, and he will write a letter to him. Alexander stated that he would like to write an apology to the victim. I then provided a pen and a piece of paper, Alexander Lopez Pena, and then left the room while Alexander Lopez Pena, wrote an apology letter to the victim of the offense. Concluded. So I don't got much else to say, man. That's it.